because this show really demonstrates sort of you get to see the characters start from a much more naive, inexperienced, childlike view of what love is, that love is attraction. And that's a part of it. I mean, that's definitely a part of it. But that is not a sustaining force. Like, you need to have more glue between you. And there are literally experiences in Buffy where, like, she romantically attaches with Angel, and then it activates his inner demon to reawaken. He's the vampire with a soul who has basically become like kind and sweet and tortured. He always looks brooding and like he's in some kind of emotional torment. But then they pair up, and it's just kind of like the classic example of lots of high school hookups, right? Or even college hookups where you have all these ideas, there's all this passion, there's all this attraction, there's such magnetism. You get together, it happens, and then totally different person comes out. And everyone's like, whoa, what happened here?
Well, he breaks up with her, but it's kind of because of the mom, though.
Angel?
Yeah, remember that's
well, he loses his soul and he turns evil.
That's before, and then afterwards he gets his soul back or whatever happens.
He
but
does.
then remember, the mom says, "No, you're bad for my daughter,"
and he is. Yeah, that's true.
Right. And then
he
when
is
he comes
bad.
back at the end of the show,
yeah,
he's only back for like a minute.
He's only back for a minute.
Yeah.
And really, I wish he hadn't come back because it just like messes things up with her in spite. But I like how in the show she and Angel have this, like, they're always attracted to each other, but then they continue to realize repeatedly this attraction can go nowhere. Like, there is no future in this, and they have to stop. And for me, that's part of that maturation process of recognizing, like, oh my God, I really want, like, I don't know, Brad Pitt or, fill in the blank, unattainable kind of object, right? And but it doesn't matter because all those Velcro connection points are not lining up to keep you together.
Yeah, but she doesn't take it great when he dumps her.
Of course not. It's heartbreaking. Buffy gets pulled through it, raked over the coals many, many times, and she just keeps going. She accepts her impossible task and tries to rise to the occasion, rise to the occasion, and mostly does most of the time.
Anyway, incidentally, because we're all, we're regular people, it really helps us if you like and subscribe if you're seeing this video on YouTube.
Share.
Again, please, we have a Buy Me a Coffee page, which has the Buy Me a Coffee page has the episodes on it of its entirety in audio. Right now, we're just posting clips on YouTube. But if you want to listen to the full podcast and the previous episodes, and maybe throw us a couple bucks, please feel free. Again, we're regular people just trying to get by.
Anything you wanted to know?
You're taking the lead on this one. This is the opposite of the Star Trek episode. Even though I do like Buffy, and I did watch it when it came out, I kind of stopped watching it after the third season because, when I left the house.
Well, and I understand that. And I think that this is an excellent show for both men and women to watch, or young men and young women at least to watch, because of the way that it shows a very complicated array of masculinity in some of the characters that they develop. You are the expert on masculinity more than I could be, even being a student of the world and studying it in an academic forum and professionally.
Well, I mean, I guess if I would, aside from like, I do with the Angel thing, breaking up with Buffy. It's interesting to me because you're right. As far as like, it's an example of like how people do get devastated, like with the first love and it ends.
Hmm.
And even though you're right, I think Buffy knows it's not good for her, right?
Yeah.
But what I find interesting though with her and Spike, if we're going to talk about the masculine thing, because Spike to me is like the ultimate bad boy, and he was my favorite character when we watched the show because he's British, he's like a punk, and even in the beginning of the show, he wants to be a good person. There's like this little, I don't know if that's what they planned, like Josh Whedon.
No, he was just supposed to be like a temporary
I
character they killed and that was it, but they loved the actor so much, and I'm so glad they
And that's
did.
interesting because I feel like they looked at it and they wait. There's more to this actor. We can get this going. And
Hmm.
and like doesn't he gain a soul by the end of the show?
He is so devastated after an incident where he becomes a perpetuator of sexual violence attempt against Buffy.
Hmm.
I hated this because I was like, this doesn't seem aligned with the other things that I saw in his character from the show. Um, but I understand why they did it. And she's like, ask me again why I can never love you. This is why. Like, you're a
Yeah.
demon. And he's like, fuck this. Oh my God, what did I do? Like, shit. He's like, okay, I am going to go on a quest. I know what to do. And when I come back, everything's going to be different. And because it's a show that's very like flexible and sometimes people go totally evil. And then you're like, oh my God, we just lost like a main character. Fuck, it's gonna end. And then they'll like do something and bring them back. And then they're more aligned to who they were previously. But what's interesting is when they have like those behavioral breaks or character shifts or whatever, they remember. And I appreciate that because that's part of how like that character development keeps building in the show.
Yeah, because I think that's part of what happens, and I'm going to bring it back to Spike, but with Angel and Buffy, Angel becomes evil for a minute, right? And then they
Hmm.
get back together, and then I
Well,
but
she
it,
has to kill him.
as a result of that, that's part of the reason why the mom, when she finds out what's going on, she's like, no, you can't kill my daughter.
Yes.